Suggested prerequisites for this next exercise are having a pretty close to 180-degree low lunge with our torso lifted. So that's not getting those hips pretty flat when we're leaning forwards. Means torso has to be totally upright. If your hips are a little higher, if your back leg hip particularly is a little bit tighter, I wouldn't recommend this next exercise. It's going to be a little bit too challenging. But there's another exercise you can do instead that I'll link to in the description that I'd suggest. Start in a low lunge with one leg forwards with your foot planted on a yoga block with that same knee stacked over your ankle in your low lunge. If your foot's a little bit longer than the block, take your toes forwards and gargoyle claw your toes around the edge. If your foot's a little bit smaller or just about the size of the block, probably don't have to adjust those legs. We're going to sink our hips into as low of a lunge as we can, keeping our chest lifted. So we're not going to lean forwards, keeping both hip bones pointing forwards. Both hands are going to come to the underside of that front leg for support. I like interlacing my fingers for a little bit of strength here. From here, step number one, we're going to engage our glutes, push our hips as far forwards as we can. This should feel like a stretch coming through the front of that back leg hip. Once we've got that nice deep hip flexor stretch, step number two, I'm going to engage my abs. Suck my belly button in like I'm putting on a pair of pants that's a little bit too tight. Step number three, keeping that glute engagement, keeping that ab engagement. I'm going to start to back bend by lifting my chest towards the ceiling. I've still got lots of weight in my arms for support, so this shouldn't feel crunchy in our low back. If it's starting to feel crunchy, pull on those hands a little bit to get your chest a little bit higher. If it feels okay on your neck, you're welcome to relax your head backwards. If that's hard to balance or feels kind of crunchy, keep your chin a little bit tucked. And a hold here for a slow count of 8 to 10. When you're ready to come on out, we're going to use our ab engagement, use our arms to pull us back on up to our lunge, and follow it with a forward fold. It's really nice to be able to straighten or partially straighten that front leg. Find your forward fold from here. You can have that leg straight if you'd like to turn this into a hamstring stretch. To go deeper, we can add a second block, starting to make a small tower. Still making sure that we've got our knee on top of our ankle. To start, squeezing your glutes to push our hips forwards, engaging our abs to protect our low back, and arching back with control. And while I'm in my arch, I am squeezing my glutes, particularly the back leg glutes, to push that hip forwards. While I am in this position, holding for a slow count of 8 to 10, slowly coming on out, following with some kind of forward fold.